All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, in this one, I really wanted to take a look at an article that was released on the Jets website from Randy Lange. So, shout out to him. Of course, the article will be listed down below in the description box. But it basically talked about how Robert Saleh is going to be impacting the offense this season. As we all know, we've heard this from Saleh himself. We've heard Rodgers talk a little bit about it as well. And quite frankly, the Jets offense can only go up, right? Based off of last season, of course, right? We're healthy now. Rodgers coming back, Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle going from that to Rodgers. Of course, the offense is going to look a lot different, especially to the offensive line. I can't stress enough how much I love the offensive linemen that the Jets have this season, right? Morgan Moses, the ultimate professional, Tyron Smith, Olu Fashanu. We got AVT fully healthy, finally. Joe Tippmann going into year two, I'm expecting a big jump from him. John Simpson as well. I'm loving this offensive line. I freaking love it. So, of course, the Jets offense is projected. You would assume it should be better. Unfortunately, we have the same exact offensive coaching staff. But again, going back to the article here, how exactly is Saleh going to help this offense? Because, the big complaint was, okay, now Saleh is finally ready to have an offensive input. Where was that the first 3 years when the offense was bad all 3 years? Why is it taking up until now? And we don't really have that, defined answer at this point in time. All we can really go off of is Saleh's experience, just watching this offense, being a head coach in the league for 3 years, going into year four. I also threw out the idea because we talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago. Maybe Saleh met with some former head coaches or met with some of his buddies, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, in the offseason to get a better feel for offense, but that's purely speculation. I have no idea if that took place, but anyway, let's take a look at this article. So it's titled Robert Saleh's Dialogue with Jets Offense, trying to provide some insight for an exciting group. So the first quote that I wanted to go over, he said, "For me, last year was year one. In regards to working with Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett, there was a lot of learning even for me. It was the first time I've been involved with an offense with a quarterback that had such a voice, so a lot of it for me was absorbing, along with everybody else, this new system. It's year two, so just a natural evolution. I've got a good grasp of the offense, and I'm just trying to provide some insight. I understand what they're trying to accomplish, and I'm just trying to provide some insight. If it feels more, it's probably because there's a lot more dialogue, including from myself, but more from a defensive perspective." So when the news initially broke, we didn't really know what to expect as Jets fans, right? How much of an impact is Saleh going to have? Is he going to overrule Hackett? Is he going to have, game planning, objectives throughout the week? Is he going to, help contribute on game day, or is he just going to continue to, I guess, just manage the game? Because look, this is the beauty of Robert Saleh being the managerial style of head coach. He can contribute to the offense. He doesn't have his head buried in the defensive playbook. He doesn't have to call plays. Ulbrich can handle all of that stuff, right? If Saleh was fully in charge of the defense, he couldn't really help out the offense. Why? Because he's calling the defense, and then when they're off the field, he's going over tape. He's trying to figure out how to get the defense or how to produce from the defensive side of the football as the Jets offense is on the field. So just there's only so much time that you have during a game, and a lot of that time is going to be spent on one side of the football if you are calling plays. It's not like Jeff Ulbrich, when the defense is off the field. He's like watching the Jets offense, throwing out little bits of information, what he's seeing. He has his head buried. But that's Jeff Ulbrich. That's not Saleh. So you could, of course, make the argument, well, Saleh should have been doing this the entire time. He is that man. He doesn't have to control the defense. He should be doing a great job at clock management, understanding when to throw the challenge flag, in-game situations, pulling players when they need rest, throwing out different formations, stuff like that. Just a good, again, managing the game. Saleh has that luxury. Not a lot of coaches have that luxury, right? Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, these guys want to call plays. Matt LaFleur, they want to get in there and do their thing, which is, there's no right or wrong answer. We've seen success from both sides of it. It just all comes down to preference. But again, if this is the preference, if we have a guy in Jeff Ulbrich who is good enough to run the defense without any sort of weird hiccups or questions or red flags, then this should open up Saleh's window more so on game day to help contribute with the offense. But we just haven't really seen that in the first 3 years. He goes on to say, as far as a specific play, I don't envision ever being somebody who's going to mandate a specific thing. They've got a vision of what they're trying to accomplish on that side of the football. We have a style that we're trying to accomplish as a team. That part I'll always be vocal on, but at the same time, I'll have suggestions just like any other head coach. If I feel convicted, obviously, but I don't envision any of that happening in the near future. See, personally, I just, if I'm Saleh, I just wouldn't rule it out. Talking about it is one thing, but just in my head, I don't want him to go into games on Sunday with the idea of, I'm just not really envisioning this happening. It's Hackett's offense, it's Rodgers' offense. They're going to do their thing. Like, as the head coach of the football team, you are the leader, you are the figurehead. If you want to run a reverse, if you want to run a flea flicker on second down and you feel like it's the right play, do it, mandate it, right? That's just kind of my thought process on it. And it would be one thing if we had, Ben Johnson, like a fantastic offensive coordinator, and you don't want to have too many, what's the term? Too many chefs in the kitchen. You don't want to be stepping on his toes or, getting in his way. Slowick with Houston, if you're D'Amico Ryans, you don't want to be screwing things up, for lack of a better term. But the problem with the Jets is the offense last year was a joke. It was horrible. Running the football, they couldn't really do it. Passing the football, they couldn't really do it. Protecting the quarterback, couldn't really do it. Multiple players were frustrated. Just so many different issues. And it just felt like Saleh still did not step in, which, you could assume he just doesn't really have anything to give to the offensive side of the football. Because if he was, or if he did have something of value, it would have been done. He wouldn't just sit idly by, again, not manning the defense, just managing the game, just watching the offense turn it over, go 3 and out, punt. Guys are getting sacked, guys are getting hurt. So that's obviously a big concern. Personally, I just don't want Saleh to, as he's saying here, go into 2024, go into these games with these unnecessary clamps on his role with the football team. No, he's the head coach. He can do whatever he wants. So I understand it. Again, letting the offensive guys, they know more than me, do their thing. But there comes a point where, hey, if I need to step in, or if this offense is bottom 5, bottom 10, and I am not liking what I'm seeing, I'm stepping in and I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at it, trying to see what can work. Because I'm not going to go down with the ship here, just watching the offense struggle and just sitting idly by. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on this. How much of an impact do you think Saleh is going to have on the offense? Do you think it's really going to make that big of a deal? I think the way the Jets have kind of described everything so far is that it's really Aaron Rodgers' offense. Like this is Rodgers' team offensively. This is his system that he wants to run. They're going to tailor it to Rodgers, and if he doesn't like something, we're probably not going to do it. I can't see a situation where Hackett rings in a play, or Saleh, has an idea and Rodgers hates it. They're probably going to say, okay, we're not going to do it then. So we'll see how it plays out. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.